Well, last month, police in Saskatchewan had their eyes open for people going above the speed limit as part of SGI's traffic safety spotlight. They were focused on speeding, and now the results are in. And Tyler McMurtry joins me to talk a little bit more about them. Tyler, just looking through this, over 5,000 people in Saskatchewan were ticketed for some kind of speeding offense. And I see a big violation was people speeding in school zones.
Yeah, we saw 5,000 plus, 5,023 to be exact, offenses for speeding or aggressive driving issued by Saskatchewan police for the month of March when we were focusing that traffic safety spotlight on the issue of speeding. There were a number of offenses for some of the more serious speeding offenses recorded as well. Speeding in school zones, speeding in construction zones, speeding past emergency vehicles or highway workers. And so these are some of the things that we want people to keep in mind as the weather warms up, as the roads become more clear. You might have that temptation to go a little heavier on the gas pedal, but we'd really encourage people to reconsider that. Think about all the other people that they'll be sharing the road with, not just other motorists, but of course, cyclists, pedestrians, even motorcyclists will be getting their bikes out of storage and hitting the road. And we want to make sure that everybody gets where they're going safely. One way we do that is by obeying speed limits.
So with the traffic safety spotlight, the goal of SGI is to put a spotlight on some of these unsafe driving tactics and encourage Saskatchewan drivers to be a little safer when they're behind the wheel. So to see this high number of tickets, over 5,000, is that considered a success for SGI?
It's good that people's behaviors are being corrected, of course. And when we look at the number of the offenses that are recorded, especially when it comes to something like speeding, it can fluctuate quite a bit. And so, in some cases, it's dependent on the weather. In some cases, the amount of offenses that police report are very much dependent on the additional enforcement that they do for that particular offense. When it comes to 5,000 speeding offenses in a month, that's not necessarily the highest or a surprising number. It was actually significantly lower than the number that we saw recorded in March of last year. Some of that might be weather dependent, of course, as well. We, of course, want people to obey the law, not have to be pulled over by a police officer and be issued a very expensive ticket. And of course, one of the things we know about speeding is the faster you're going, the more it's going to cost you. And as we noted earlier, there are some more serious speeding offenses that trigger higher fines as well.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about some of the consequences people can face when they're speeding?
Sure. So let's just talk about a regular speeding ticket. And so if you're looking at, say, 20 kilometers per hour over the limit on a regular stretch of road, that's $190 and you're looking at 2 demerit points. But if you are speeding through a school zone, for example, 20 kilometers per hour over the limit, that's a ticket of $310 and you'll get an additional demerit point as well. And then, of course, if you're speeding through a construction zone with workers present or highway equipment with its lights flashing, that's an even more expensive category of ticket. I think you're looking at around $440 for that ticket and the demerit points that go along with that as well. Now, for some very serious speeding offenses, for example, if you're traveling more than 50 kilometers per hour over the limit, not only are you getting a more expensive category of ticket, but you're also looking at a week-long vehicle impoundment right there at roadside. And the same goes for street racing. If you're street racing, not only do you get a ticket, but you get a 30-day vehicle impoundment, plus the ticket, plus the demerits. So it's really just a bad idea to disregard those speed limits. Though they're not there for they're not suggestions, we like to say. That's actually the law. That's actually the maximum amount you're legally allowed to travel.
So it seems like the message is it never pays to speed. It's never worth it.
Yeah, we like to say just enjoy the drive. Take a little bit of extra time, enjoy the surroundings. You get maybe one extra song in that trip if you're just slowing down and obeying those speed limits.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler, for taking some time. It's always great to get some of your insight.
Thanks, Chase. Great talking to you.